Record.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
You doing lesson okay?
Yeah.
If you're doing lesson okay, raise your hand. Why you doing lesson okay? I don't know. Who's doing just okay? All right. Who's doing good? Who's doing great? So, as you know, today we're doing poetry again. All right. These are the standards. If you have it pulled up on your laptop, you can look at there to determine the meaning of words and phrases that are used in the text, including figurative and connotative meanings. So what the author is trying to say literally, and then what the author is trying to say in an indirect way. That's all that means. Okay. Analyze the impact of rhymes and other repetition of sounds, like alliteration, a specific verse or stanza of a poem or section of a story. Then analyze the poem's form or structure, i.e. soliloquy, sonnet, how it contributes to its meaning. These are our essential questions. How do poets convey messages? Bless you. You're welcome. About themselves, society, and the human condition. So, themselves, that's pretty obvious. Society, what are they talking about? What do they mean when we say society? People with. That we live with. People that we live with. And then the human condition, what do you think that is?
How do people do
Hmm?
How do people do
Yeah, how they're doing, right? Things like love, jealousy, envy, happiness, friendship, revenge. That all deals with the human condition. That's what it's talking about. Smaller essential question, right? That was a big essential question. Our small essential question was the central idea of the theme of a poem. And then the second small one, how does figurative language contribute to the meaning of the poem? Okay? So, I can't say, you go home and you talk to your parents, and they ask you, hey, what did you do at school today? What did you learn? You're going to say, read that one. You didn't raise your hand.
I can't determine the meaning of the poem.
Good job means you understand what it means, right? What does this say?
I can use figurative language to understand a poem.
Good job. So when they come up with a simile in the middle of a poem, you're going to understand what that poet's trying to say. And the final one, sir.
Me. I can analyze how a poem structure contributes to its meaning.
Right. So when you see a sonnet, you'll understand, okay, this was probably talking about love, right? It's not talking about milkshakes. Frivolous stuff. Objectives, that's really just for me. I don't have to worry about that. I'm not even going to read it. If you want to read it, you can read it in there, in the PowerPoint, but I'm not going to go over it. So, who here listens to music? Everybody. All right. Who's heard a song that you think can be considered as art, poetry, right? Go ahead.
Oh, what? Oh, you
Tell me the name of the song.
Oh,
You say 007, toss you that
let me think. That's not a song, that was like the wrong week. Yeah, I was gonna say, oh, yeah. What's wrong about wrong week?
All right, what's that song talking about?
Love.
Love?
Heartbreak.
Oh, man, okay. Would you say that contributes to the human condition?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Very much
Good
so.
job. How's this, does he use any figurative language in that song? You'd have to look at it again, listen to it
Yes.
again.
Yes.
So it sounds like that song actually could be considered poetry, right?
Wrong week is poetry.
Okay. That's how I feel about these two. When I was younger, I used to listen to most of the other poets. They talked about how people are treated, how we're stacked up in projects. They live in New York, so we're stacked up in projects and stuff, right? The systems that led to us being put like that. So it was the first time that I realized, oh snap, like music can also be art, smart art, right? Those are the lyrics. You ain't gotta read it right now if you don't want to, but there's a lot of figurative language in there, okay? And that's what we're gonna be doing today. We'll be looking at all kinds of poems and try to analyze their meaning. So what is poetry? Poetry is, who wants to read that? Somebody who haven't called on yet. Go ahead.
literature that evokes a
Concentrate.
concentrated imaginative
Mm-hmm.
awareness of experience or specific emotional response to language chosen as arrogant, arranged for its meaning, sound, and rhythm.
Super clear, right? We all understand what that means?
No,
Oh, okay, because you were genius, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But if that was not clear to you, raise your hand. Because it wasn't clear to me. What the heck? What does it mean? It's a type of literature or artistic writing that attempts to stir your imagination or your emotions. It makes you think about what's possible, or it makes you feel a certain way, right? It makes you feel a certain way about losing your girlfriend, or boyfriend, right? Or it makes you feel a certain way about thinking about a lost loved one. Some of y'all laugh at me. And then the second part, poets carefully choose and arrange a poem's language for its meaning, sound, and rhythm. Why do you think they do that? Why do you think they switch it up? Switch up the rhythm, switch up the sound, switch up the figurative language. Yeah. If you do a regular layup in basketball, or you do a jelly layup, does the points change?
No.
No. Which one's more fun to watch?
Jelly.
Jelly, man. Right? That's what this is.
It's
That's all I said. Good. Head top. Snatch blocks. You know?
Yeah.
on Tariq.
So, elements poetry. Lines. You read that one. Read that one. Lines.
Lines wrote a word in a poem marked with numbers.
Boom. Thank you, sir. So when you read poetry, typically they're gonna have lines, not on every numbers, not on every line, but it might be staggered, right? Every other line is gonna have a number. So you'll have to infer what the lines, what the number is of the line without the number. So if you see 2 and 4, what do you think those other lines are numbered? 3 and 1. Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Stanza, a group of lines in a poem. So these two are stanzas. All right. Which lines go in the second stanza?
5, 6, 7, and 8.
5, 6, 7, 8. Good job. Which ones go in the first stanza?
1, 2, 3.
Ah! Caitlin, which ones go in the first stanza?
Huh?
Which lines are in the first stanza? Good job. Super easy, right? Ain't hard. Good stuff. Elements of poetry. We have a rhyme scheme that's a pattern or of rhyme, in a poem. We did that already. We did that last week,
I tell.
right? ISO. And you did ISO. Good job. Forget about that. No, not a good job. Alright. Rhyme scheme. This is a rhyme scheme. Or rhythm. Rhythm in a poem. Shel Silverstein. Come on, Fred.
That's the internet.
Alright, man. Well, the internet's bugging right now. Alright, Slick. Don't worry about it. You can listen to it on your own time. I put the video right here if you want to go. If you wanted to listen to it on your own time, the video's right here. Just click it, it'll take you to it. Alright? So, more elements of poetry. Repetition. When a word or phrase is used more than once for emphasis. Right? Why do you, if I repeated something over and over and over and over and over again, why am I repeating it?
Because it's important. It's important.
Yeah, it's super important, man. Right? Be quiet in the hallways. Be quiet in the hallways. Earlier this morning they were testing. That's why we said be quiet in the hallways, right?
Yeah.
Super easy. Topic. The main idea of the poem, right? So this poem right here, one flower sitting all alone, wondering what it should do, sitting there lonely and all, sitting there playing alone. What do you think the topic of that poem is?
Being alone.
Alone.
What's alone?
A flower.
Good job. Flowers all alone. Not a lot of figurative language there. Speaking of figurative language, we've already done a lot of these, but a refresher. Okay? Allusion, what's that?
Allusion, a direct or indirect reference to a figure in historical, mythical, biblical, or pop culture text.
Good job, man. You a regular Albert Einstein. What was that?
It was, a pun.
No.
No.
Yes, it was an illusion. Right? What kind of illusion was it?
Historical.
Yes, historical, a person in history. Hey, let's leave those plastic cups alone. Right? What was I trying to say by using that individual in reference to
Smart.
you? Smart. He's a freaking genius.
Like Reggie.
You know what I mean? Not quite Reggie level.
Yeah.
Then again, none of us really are.
Yeah.
So, boom! Oh, boy,
Yeah.
well, I was 13 years old. Boom! What was that?
I don't know that people.
What you say? Automatopoeia.
So, that's sound represented in word form. If I said, hey yo, you tell me, Mr. Jordan, I lost my laptop. And I tell you, hey, it's in here somewhere, and then just grow legs and run away. What's that?
Sarcasm.
No,
Personification, yes, it was sarcasm, but it was personification. And what is personification?
Giving a non.
Thank you for raising your hand.
given a non-human or non-living thing, human like quality.
Exactly. Can a laptop grow legs and run away?
No.
No.
Only in car.
Of course you know.
Good job, Reggie. Thank you. That's an outcome I didn't quite consider. I appreciate
I'm
you.
gonna say cartoon.
More for your language. If I say, hey, yo, what's the matter? Cat got the tongue? What's that?
Can't talk. Idiom.
It's an idiom, and I am indeed saying you cannot talk. Very good. What's a
Simple.
what's a simile?
I read right here.
A comparison between two things using like their eyes.
All right, what's a metaphor?
A comparison between two things without using like their eyes.
You reading it.
Not.
All right, alliteration. What's that?
Repeats the same consonant.
Consonant.
Good job. Repeat. Yeah, good job.
Peter pick a peck of
Good try.
Peter pick a peck of pipe.
Peter Piper picked up.
Rich got it right.
So, two new ones. Irony. Someone read that for me. Jameer.
Meaning, usually humorous.
Good job. So, that side says, I hate three things: vandalism, irony, and lists. Why would that be ironic?
It's because they doing vandalism.
They're doing all three of them. They're vandalizing that wall. It's ironic because they hate vandalism, and they also made a list. Super ironic. Pun, someone read that one for me. Go ahead.
A joke exploiting the different possible meanings of a word or the fact that there are words which sound alike but have different meanings.
Yeah, good job. So,
Make like a, can I do it?
go ahead.
Make like a tree and leaf.
Yes, make like.
I know it's so funny.
Puns are terrible jokes. So, here's some practice. I'll give you about 2 minutes. Look at each one, figure out what you think they mean. You can't work together.
See, we're smart. We got ready.
What'd you ask me, son? artist. All right, time's up. So, number one, cooler than a polar bear's toenail. What you got? Huh?
Metaphor.
Yep, good job, metaphor. Good job. What are they saying? You think they really saying like, oh man, I'm so cold? What are they saying? Say cool, man. Oh my gosh, oh no. She sells seashells on the seashore. Imani.
Oh, alliteration.
Good job, alliteration. What's being repeated? Good job. The fireman's house burnt down. Yes, sir.
Irony,
Irony. Why is that ironic?
because the fireman's supposed to put a fire.
Yeah. He should be good at putting out fires, especially his own house. Teddy bears are always are never hungry. They're always stuffed.
Yeah.
Landon.
Personification.
Good job. Wait, you said personification?
Oh my
God, bro.
No, but it's fine.
See, this kind of stuff makes sense.
It's not because I got to because I put P.
Quit sitting there like a bump on a log.
This was
Joseph, I call it. Huh?
idiom.
Idiom, yes.
It's similar. It's similar.
Simile too, but it's an idiom. It's an idiom. Man, how should you
Register the people.
moon pie?
Said, I'm on top.
So, take a short break.
I mean, he's right. He's right.
Landon, time to go, son.
No.
You get-
Hey.
The pole is the
Come again?
You
You don't play baseball? You said you don't play anything, remember?
I can play baseball. You mean track? I play baseball.
No, you said.
I'm using it. I never said anything. I never said anything.
Hey, sis, it's still recording, y'all.
Put 'em up. All right, so time to come back. So what were our essential questions again?
Which one, the big or the small?
Give me the big one first.
Oh, I do.
How do poets convey messages about themselves, society, and the human condition?
Good job. Well, give me one of the smaller ones.
What is the central idea or the purpose of the poem?
Okay, and the final one.
How does figurative language contribute to the meaning of a
Did I didn't call on you.
Oh.
You were gonna say it. Go ahead.
How does figurative language
Contribute.
contribute to the meaning of the poem?
Good stuff. Can we answer any of those questions just yet?
Yes. Wait, no.
Which one? If you think we can, let me know. I'll better teach you that thought.
I was gonna say the last one.
The last one, how does figurative language contribute to the meaning of the poem? We're almost there. We're almost there. Okay? So, hey, if you can hear my voice, raise your hand. Pay attention. Pay attention. So, different types of poems. Soliloquy. Soliloquy is a monologue addressed to oneself. Okay? So, in movies, they're called like monologues. But the difference is, a monologue is directed to someone else, right? Soliloquy is all internal. Who here, when they Does anyone have like, I'm trying to find a way to say it without sounding crazy. But like, when I'm alone and I have thoughts, it's like I'm talking, but it's in my mind. It's called an inner voice. Who has an inner voice here? Yeah, not everybody has that. Not everybody has one. But a soliloquy is basically an inner voice. Hey, if you're playing games right now, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be playing games. You shouldn't be on Microsoft Teams, Discord, anything. You should definitely be paying attention. Do we understand? I didn't hear you. Do we understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just make sure. Was I mean?
No.
Did I call anybody out of their name?
No.
Okay, I was very direct. Make sure you do what you're supposed to be doing. Types of poems. Sonnet. A sonnet is a fixed form of poetry consisting of 14 lines. Typically, the rhyme scheme goes A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. Okay? In iambic pentameter, iambic pentameter is rhythm established by words that rhyme. The group is measured in small group syllables. I don't even want y'all really worried about that. Okay? This sonnet right here, sonnet 18, William Shakespeare's most famous sonnet. Alright? He's written about 100 of them. This is did it for fun. Alright? So that's a sonnet. Yeah. Haiku, traditional Japanese haiku is a 3-line poem. How many lines? 3. How many lines? 3. How many stanzas?
3. No, I'm 1.
Who said 1?
Me?
Good job, it's 1. 1 stanza, okay? The syllables go 5,
7, 5.
7, 5.
7, 5.
Alright? 5, 7, 5. They often focus on nature, okay? The reason why this was done, because samurais, yes, they kill people, but killing people makes you barbaric. So they need something to get them grounded to bring out their humanity again. Things like haikus, or perfecting Japanese tea ceremonies, or tending to bonsai trees or garden. Those are things they did to feel more human, okay? Because killing someone is traumatic, okay? So yeah, that's a haiku. Concrete poem, aka shape poem.
Oh.
It's an arrangement of words on a page into shapes or patterns that reveal an image, typically what that poem is about, right?
Yes.
This one, what do we think it is? Star. You don't even have to read it, right? Now, if there was a poem that said star and it wasn't arranged in that shape, what do we think it's probably talking about? It's talking about a pop star, or a shooting star,
Regular
or a
star.
superstar, any number of things. But it being in this shape of a star makes the meaning very clear for us. Okay? Musical poems, poems set in music. Songs whose lyrics are considered to have a particularly poetic character. Okay? This is from a song called The Light by a dude named Common. He was dating a woman and made this song for her. Okay? So, I want you guys to look at Canvas. Select 2 of the 5 poems and analyze. You can work as a group. We'll have about 5 minutes, and then we'll check as a group after this. Alright? Let's go ahead and get to work. I'll be walking around if you need me. Even if you don't need me, I'll be walking around. Okay? Go ahead and get in the group, boss. Huh? Is it yours? Where's yours?
Mine's not working.
Alright, try it out. Okay. See how much time we've been.
No, the internet's not working.
Not really.
My internet's not working.
You want my teacher to see how good of a job you're doing? Alright, move over here. Oh, hey, y'all move with it. Why not?
Good?
Okay. Alright.
Ready, smart?
Here you go.
Oh, yeah.
Just pick 2. Just pick 2. We're gonna go over all of them, but just pick 2. Also, No, if you know, hey, if you hear my voice, raise your hand. If you know one of them's gonna be too easy for you, don't do that. Okay? There are some of you, I don't want you to do the clockwise. That's a little.
That's my turn.
All right.
You have it?
What is it?
I have
Mango.
That's the best one in the room.
Hey, why'd you move? Whatever you say, man.
Mr. Jones,
What's up?
I need help.
Need help? Okay. Yes.
You go to the home practice.
Come on, Chief.
Is this supposed to be possible?
You're supposed to, but it's not. Special class because of baseball. Answer the rest of the question.
Alright, we have two people named.
Apply to all of them. Mr. Ronstein. Why you so aggressive? You like that? Elijah, what you doing? Come on, man. Come on.
I'm ready. Stop. Stop.
What's up? All right, closing down. Which one you gonna do? You already answered all 5 questions? What? Look, what did you know about Chico? Lala, what you doing? You ain't work? You better get to work. Huh? Oh, okay. So you remember that you go to know what days the Lord be out. Hey, if you can hear my voice, raise your hand. Who needs more time? All right, I'll give you 3. This is Haley working with you? What's up? Oh, I thought you were raising your hand, my bad.
It's all right.
There's skills on the floor. 90 seconds remaining.
That is not haiku.
Haiku. Wait. Yes. Go.
Hey.
30 seconds.
And you say no one blows, you already
Five, four, three, two, one. We are finished. So. Pull this bad boy up. So we were supposed to look at 2 of the 5 poems represented. And we were supposed to answer 5 questions, yeah? So, who chose the clock poem? Nobody chose the clock poem? Okay.
Oh, you did?
Well, let's just do it anyway.
Yeah.
What type of poem is that clock poem?
Concrete,
Concrete, how do you know?
because it's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
shaped like a clock.
Shaped like a clock. All right.
We talked about it.
Does question number 2 apply to the concrete poem? Who says yes? Who says no? Why doesn't it apply to that poem?
Because it does not rhyme.
It doesn't have standard lines. Also, are the lines numbered? No. So then how do you know how many lines there are? No. So with that in mind, does number 3 apply to this poem?
No.
If you don't know how many lines you have, how can you know how many stanzas you have?
You can't.
Good job, guys. Very good. All right. Do we see any figurative language in this poem? But the kids in my class say it's 5 till 3. Is there any figurative language in there?
Yeah,
What is it?
it's something with the 5 to 3.
5 and 3.
5 till they're free. Till they're gone.
Oh, yeah.
There's no figurative language in there.
Oh, that's cute.
What's the topic of this poem?
Not a clock, a clock.
Not that simple.
The time.
Huh?
5 minutes to the
Yeah. Students want to be free. Students want to go home. Alright? So let's look at the second one. What type of poem is that second one? He has his hand raised.
haiku.
Haiku! How do you know?
Because it's the meaning only 3 lines,
Mhm.
and then the syllables are 5, 7, 5.
Supposed to be 5 till 5. That first one. Yeah, I thought it was 4, but good job. How many lines are in the poem?
3.
3. How many stanzas are in this poem?
1.
1. Are there any examples of figurative language in this poem?
Look at me with teeth.
With pale eyes. What kind of figurative language would that be? Starts with the I, it's not idiom, it is not idiom. Huh?
Iron. Iron.
Mm-mm,
Illustrating the race.
mm-mm. Y'all just guessing now. Which one deals with the five senses?
Oh.
Imagery, yes. Pale, color, right? Pale eyes. What do you think that, author means with looking at me with pale eyes?
Like sad.
Sad. Yeah. So, what is the topic of the poem? What do you think the topic is? Being hurt. You, ask you guys a question. You ever had a friend that did you wrong and then they got mad that you got mad at them?
Yeah.
That's what this is about. Okay? Have I hurt you? You look at me with pale eyes, these are my tears. I'm crying because you hurt me. What you sad about? Hey, y'all need to be friends. Love each other. You need therapy. Isolation quickly overwhelms me, begging for forgiveness upon the man. Desolation, I now begin to see, hanging by a thin thread, a single strand. I miss them. I watch them, their fears, their misbehavior, mistreat, abuse, completely unaware. I am the Lamb, their glorious Savior. Someday they'll learn to treat me with care. I wish they would learn to trust each other, to join as one, to stand strong together. A bond, a band, a mighty brother, forever as one, a powerful tenor. You may not know that fear is their captor, so you may not see each special factor. What what type of poem did we just analyze? Soliloquy? I don't think it's a soliloquy. Why do we know that this is a sonnet as opposed to a soliloquy? That's one. What else?
Rhythm. 14 lines.
What else?
The A,
10 syllables.
A,
That's not rhythm, that's something else. It does start with an R.
rhythm, no, not rhythm. Rhyme scheme?
Rhyme scheme, there we go, the rhyme scheme. A-B, C-D. That one was just all F, and then G. How many lines are in that poem? You just told me, it's a sonnet, so it has 14. How many stanzas are in that poem? 4, very good. Are there any examples of figurative language here? And if so, tell me what they are. Just give me 2.
You a big head.
I went there once.
No.
I am the Lamb, their glorious Savior.
What is that? Well, if this is the land, can land talk? You ever went outside and the grass just spoke to you? No. So what would that be?
Personification.
Personification. Hey, I need you to focus.
Wait, what?
You can focus. Face this way.
No, I'll look on the computer, and then she had turned
The
to.
computer's not turning.
I had
No,
turned
she had turned it back.
Like, just, I'm at thing. What else? Any more figurative language you see in there? Very good. I didn't expect you guys to get that one. Yes, fear is their captor. Can fear literally put you in a jail cell and keep you there? No. So that's what? Mm-mm.
Personification.
Personification. What are they trying to say? Hmm? Fear is your captor. What is fear doing to you? It's holding you back. Some of y'all know what that's like. You go to track and you can't run because you forgot your shoes. But you're scared, right?
Or scared.
Who's ever played a sport and before you play that sport, you got them butterflies in your stomach?
Ah, damn.
Yo, when I was younger, every time before I had to play a football game,
It holds
I
you
had
back.
to poop.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I had to poop because I was nervous.
Oh,
That's what happened.
I had.
Yeah, but when I get in the game, I'm cool.
You can hear my voice, raise your hand, bring it back, okay? And the last one,
Yeah.
what do we think that one is? What do we think that last one is? Look at your computer, you see?
Oh, the,
Oh, the music one?
You got both of them. Yes, that is a soliloquy. Alright? How many lines are in the soliloquy? That was quick, you really are, genius. Good job, man, 19. How many stanzas are in this soliloquy? 2. Where did you see that? I see one.
Reggie, you said two.
I know why you said 2,
Yeah, my.
because you said, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you see the sound of a fanfare, I think, where you saw that, I imagine that you created a space and that made it 2 stanzas. If you feel like that's true for you, raise your hand. Okay, I understand. It's still 1 stanza. Alright? Are there any examples of figurative language in here, and if so, what does it mean? You have to look at your, because it's really small.
Like E. Yeah.
Like
E dash state.
Yep. What do they mean?
Like, cause you know how you can draw.
Well, what stained their hand?
The E. No, the blood.
Blood did. Does blood really stain your hands like that?
No.
No, you can wash it off.
Yeah.
So, what do you think this person is thinking? You would probably have to read the rest of this to figure out what they're meaning. You have to figure out first what they're feeling.
A person got hurt and it stains their art or something.
No.
Like that.
Yes, that's super close. Alright? They feel guilty. And no matter what they do to wash it off, it won't come off because they're really staying mentally. Right? Good job. Very good job. Good job, man. Proud of you. Alright? One more. Give me another one. Another form of
Covering my eyes and trickles of blood.
Say that, what's up?
Covering my eyes and trickles of blood.
Second one?
Wow.
What is it that sits on my head, covering my eyes and trickles of blood?
Wow.
Yes, that is one. Those 2 lines go together. But yes, that is an example. What are they saying?
What about the wow one with the exclamation mark?
Wow is a word.
Yeah, but.
That wouldn't be a form of onomatopoeia. We say wow. Wow is a word, a legit word. But crack, like a crack of a bat, that's not a word. Wow. But he was saying, what is this that covers my head? I think that's what it says. That sits on my head, covering my eyes and trickles of blood. What does he mean here? The guilt. And what's it doing? Sit there, won't leave him alone. Clouding. Hey, who's that's morbid, I'm not gonna say that, but when you swim in a swimming pool and the water's in your hair and it gets down to your eyes, what does it do to your vision? It blurs it. So what do you think? What do you think this guilt is doing to him? It's blinding him. Good job. Very good. Good job, guys. Fantastic work. All right. So remember our simple questions. How do so let's answer this one. Let's go a little deeper in this. Which of the feelings of the human condition do you think this talks about? Love, guilt. And we alluded to that earlier with you, right? What are they guilty about?
Killing someone,
Killing someone, murdering someone. Now, I don't know much about Macbeth, but I do know that it has to do with kings and queens and stuff. So just knowing that, what do you think that person's motivation was for murdering someone?
Money.
Probably money. What else?
Property?
Revenge?
I don't
They
think it's
guilty
revenge.
about it.
Not revenge.
Wow.
Well, how do you become a king or a queen?
Oh, they killed the upper and the top.
Probably have to kill somebody above you if you're younger.
Yeah.
Right? So that's also something they could be talking about, right? And what would we call that? Greed. Very good. Very good. Alright, so,
What? I did
Yeah.
not say warrior.
do you think now, do you think that you guys can answer the question, how do poets convey messages about themselves, society, and the human condition? Do you say something to that?
Sojourner,
Yes, ma'am.
you have Jacoby Brown.
I can get him.
Okay, have him come up front for dismissal.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
What? You guys think you can say that now, that you can answer the question how? Ward. Do you think you can answer the first specific question? How do poets convey messages about themselves, society, and the human condition? If you feel like you can say that, raise your hand. Okay, one of us can. All right, that's cool. Oh, it's cool.